Approximately 30 years ago, I encountered domestic violence. If I was to describe this time of my life with one word, it would be freedom. Because I lived in fear, I lived in regret, I was echoless because I didn't have a voice, I was enraged, I felt defeated, I was oppressed, and I was marooned because I felt like I was all alone. I was looking for love in all the wrong places. So I was in and out of relationship. Then I met this guy. He manipulated me with his words, and he spiritually manipulated me also, because he told me that he had a dream, and he dreamed that I was his wife, that God said that I was his wife. We started living together because he encouraged me that we were saving money for a wedding. I really felt for this guy. I thought I was in love. I earned more money than he did, so I paid for all the household expenses. He was wonderful for the first 2 months. He became controlling and abusive and stayed angry all the time. Mentally and emotionally, I made excuses for him, saying that he had a stressful job. I was afraid to tell my family. I had already disappointed them, my parents, with 2 kids before this incident. I would say that we purchased a car, but really I purchased a car. I paid for the car. I was told that either I would learn how to drive a 5-speed or I would walk to work, which is approximately 2 to 3 miles away from where we lived. I remember a couple of days walking to work and walking from work, but then I had to sneak and ask some of my co-workers to pick me up or either drop me off. During that time I was a manager, assistant manager at a restaurant. So I did not want them to know what was going on. On several occasions, I remember locking myself in the bathroom, hiding from him to keep him from physically abusing me. For that 1.5 years, it was torment, from physical abuse to mental abuse to verbal abuse, from being told that no one wanted you, no one loved you. He would allow me 15 minutes to get home from work, and if I was late, he would accuse me of being unfaithful. Every time that I was late, an argument would break out. He would make me feel guilty because he was angry. I would have bruises around my neck, on my arms from him holding me, not letting me go, in my chest from him punching me. Afterward, he would make me have sex with him to prove that I loved him. He destroyed my self-esteem by telling me how worthless I was. He stripped me of all my dignity and my self-respect. It got to a stage where I didn't know the truth from a lie. I didn't know who I was. The only place I would go was to work. I never went anywhere else. I was afraid. I would cover the bruises up and make excuses to people. He would always make me feel as though it was my fault. He would tell me that I was a whore, that no one wanted me and no one would accept me. I began to believe that it was my fault, and I felt like I was entrapped on this roller coaster that I couldn't get off. I spent every day crying secretly, attempting to leave. I feared for my life and started fearing for my son's life because he started abusing him. My children were my life and was defenseless. They didn't ask to be in that situation. I put myself and their life in danger. I started plotting to kill him. I felt as though that was my only way out. I finally got enough nerves to leave. I packed everything while he was gone. I left most of the furniture, but I took my life and my kids' life. He came and begged me to give him another chance after I moved. If he asked before I moved, because I was looking for love in all the wrong places, I probably would have stayed. And because I felt as though I was worthless, I received continual calls from him. He stalked me. He followed me everywhere I would go. He would come to my apartment late nights with the attempt to coerce me into letting him move in to have sex with him, telling me that he loved me and he couldn't live without me. I believe the only reason I didn't go back is because of my children. I finally decided to move in with my parents, but I still didn't talk about it. Now I attempt to live every day in freedom with no fear, with no regret, with a voice. I'm no longer echoless, not enraged, not defeated, not oppressed, and not marooned by myself. The life of freedom, Galatians 5:1. Christ has set us free to live a free life. So take your stand. Never again let anyone put a harness of slavery on you.